Hello, hello! In this video, I'm going to give you a little tech walkthrough of how to use Zoom if you're teaching languages online. And I'm doing this because I know that this is something that stalls a lot of people. That idea of having to get to grips with this new tech and understand it and feel confident enough with it to use it in a lesson, that can be quite a hurdle to overcome. So I want to help to clarify that all for you today if you're teaching languages yourself online. And that means then that by the end of this video, you'll know all the tips and tricks that you need to use Zoom to deliver better online language lessons. Now I'm talking about this because I know that you need this, and I've used Zoom. In fact, now I use Zoom for about 90% of my online calls for my courses and for my programs that I work with students on, and it's just incredible. It does all the things that I want it to do, and that's why I want to share this with you so you can get the most from it as well as you use it for your own teaching. Now, if you want more from me, I have a 3 months to online tutor checklist that you will definitely want to get your hands on if you're just getting started teaching languages online. The link is in the description below, or you can visit lindsaydoeslanguages.com/teacher checklist. So we're going to dive into the tech training now. It's going to take over the screen and I will pop back at the end to say goodbye. All right, so I'm going to walk you through how to get started with Zoom then. So the first thing is you want to download. If you go to zoom.us/download, you'll see this page and you'll be able to download the appropriate option. If you are wanting to use it on a computer, which you probably are, it's just the top one. Go through those steps to download it. And then when you're done, this will be what it looks like, this box here, not the one behind. Okay, so this first one. And this is your main kind of page. You have the option to schedule meetings. If you go to the Zoom website, you can schedule a meeting and things and share that link with a student, or you can just use your main personal meeting room, which is what I tend to do for one-on-one calls, because then you only have one link to share. So you'd grab this link here, copy invitation, right there, and then you'd share that link with your students. They would keep it. Alternatively, if you add them to contacts as well, you can go through it that way. Now, once you press start on a meeting, this is like your main page. You press that start button here and you see this. So let's make this full screen now so we know what we're working with. In the bottom corner, you see I've got my thing muted at the minute. If I unmute, we mute on here just so it doesn't go crazy, then you'll see the one next to that. You can adjust your audio. So if you've got a plugged in microphone, make sure that it's on that and not on the built-in microphone. And then the video as well. So I'll start that very briefly. Hello, and turn that off again so it's not too slow. And again, make sure if you've got a webcam plugged in that it's on the webcam. You do have some options here. You can see here as well for audio settings and video settings. So very briefly, this will bring up your general settings features. So with audio, you can do some quick tests. You can make sure that it's sounding all right. You can make it louder and quieter and everything that you need to do. Same with video. So I can see myself there and I can touch up appearance. So if you turn that off, it just smooths everything out a little bit. It's kind of like Instagram filtered world. And then let me turn off the mute things down there. The main other things then, you can invite students here. So if you join the call and you realize, oh wait, no one's joined yet, maybe they don't have the link, you can invite them directly from there, and that will bring up people that are on your contacts, or you can copy the URL here or copy the invitation. And again, you can copy the URL from here as well, copy URL. So then you can share that link, and once your students have Zoom downloaded, they'll be able to join the call with you if they haven't already got the link. Manage participants. So at the minute there's just me, but if you were teaching a group, this is handy because you can mute, unmute people, and you don't really need to worry too much about this, but it's just handy that that's there just if you need it with especially with groups. And then one of the key things is sharing stuff, right? Now I've got a few things loaded up to show you. So you can just share your main desktop, or you can share any other thing that you have loaded. So if I go back to Google Chrome, I can also share the computer sound. Now that's handy if you're watching a video together. So if let's say that you want to watch a YouTube video in sync, if you share computer sound, they're going to hear that video at the same time. So that's pretty cool. And optimize for full screen video clip. We're not working with video. It's not full screen. We don't need either of those clicked. So we're going to just press share. And now this is the screen that's being shared. So we don't need the zoom thing anymore. We can get rid of that one. Now let's say that we want to read an article. So I've just pulled up this article from BBC News, right? And let's come down to a bit of text here. Now, if I come up here to the top, you'll see now these options, some of them look familiar, but I've also got these, annotate, and a few more bits down there as well. Now, annotate is the new one that you might notice. If I click annotate, I get this little bar here, and that means that I can draw all over this page. And because I'm sharing my screen, the student's going to see this. So let's say that I ask them to read it out loud, and I want to underline words that I want to then focus on, involving, installations, right? Things like this. Then we can clearly see together at the same time, because this screen is being shared, what needs to be worked on. You can stamp stuff. So maybe with an arrow, you can be like, oh yeah, this word here, this word here, love, this word here, read this sentence, right? Spotlight. So this is, you can kind of highlight things like loneliness, right? You can just stamp that, boom, and it just shows, gives your arrow, your, what's the word, cursor, more of a glow to it. Eraser. So if I want to get rid of any of those things, just tap them to delete like that. And I can change the color, the width, you know, so let's say if we go back to draw, if we just go to thick line like this, you can see I'm like highlighting now rather than underlining. So that's all pretty cool stuff to play around with. And then I can clear the whole thing if I want to, clear all my drawings. And also, did you notice there, clear my drawings, clear viewers' drawings? So your students, when there's someone else on the call with you, will have an option to give access to annotate. So your students can underline words that they don't understand, or words that they, you know, do understand or want to pronounce, or whatever it is that you're doing. So that's pretty cool as well. Text as well. So I could, like, you know, add a little text box there and stuff like this. And then if we go to clear all drawings, you can even save as well. So maybe you've made quite a lot of notes on a thing and this would be helpful just to have a copy of, you can save that image. Okay, if I go to stop share, so come off of this box here, I can pause and then I can come back to it, or I can stop share. I'm going to stop share for now. I'm going to come back to share, and I want to show you another option here. So you see it says here iPhone/iPad via AirPlay or via cable. So if you've got an Apple device, then you can connect these as well. So this is handy if maybe you have an app that you're mentioning to a student and you want to show them how it works. You can tap this, you can press share, and if I have mine connected and open it up, there we go, that's my app screen, right? I can scroll on the iPad and it's scrolling on the computer. So maybe I'm saying to my students, oh, I want you to use Memrise. Here's the course. This is how it works. You tap on this and then you get this list of words, and then you press classic review, and you know, you can work through this and share how to do these things with your students. So you could even have apps loaded with relevant games or things like that as well. Again, really pretty cool, very useful. Stop share again. And finally, coming back, you have this option for whiteboard. So let me just show you this. So kind of like we could do with the web, with the browsers, not just the web, in fact, you know, any of those, it keeps trying to connect the iPad. Any of those things that we could do with the web, with these like formatting, drawing stuff, we can do over here as well, right? So let's say, if I just undo that, let's say you're explaining like lots of different tenses. So you want to draw a timeline of how this all works. And you come to here and you come to here, you know, use text to write down here, I had been. You come to the middle, you write another one, I have been, and we move that back, select, drag it back to here, right? And you know, you can then draw, I have been, stretches from here to present, whatever, right? You get my idea. So you can use this whiteboard feature in lots of ways. And again, your students can have access to this to draw on as well. So pretty cool, pretty useful. Over here, one participant can share at a time, multiple participants, can share simultaneously, advanced sharing options. So you need to adjust this if needs be, but I think having all participants available is handy, especially because you're probably one-on-one. You've got the chat. The chat is okay. You know, it's handy if you just want to write down one or two words. So like, oh, how do you spell illumination? Illumination. Hopefully I've spelled that right. I think. Right. You then have the choice for files. So if you maybe have like a worksheet that's like kind of quote unquote homework for someone, you can share that directly here in the Zoom chat as well. And to close the chat, you can just click chat again, open, and it stays there, and close. And you can record. So you have the option to record calls. This is really handy, especially with group sessions. If you're hosting live group classes and not everyone can make every session, you can record the calls and have them so that everyone can catch up if they can't join live. All you do is press record on the cloud or computer. I tend to go computer just because it's easier, right? Record on this computer, you just tap that, and I'm just going to press record without audio because I'm muted at the minute, but normally it wouldn't say that. And then it's recording up here, you'll see this. So to stop, you just press this one, but you can pause it with that one, and then just play again and pause. And then if you've finished, if you just want to record a section of the lesson, you can stop and it's done. And that will be converted into an MP4 file once the meeting's over. Breakout rooms. This is particularly useful when you're teaching groups. Now, what you can do here is you can do this automatically or manually. I prefer manually. I would always add one extra room than what you think you need. So let's say that you have 10 students in a class and you want them to work in pairs. So open, let's say 5 or 6 rooms, just to go a little bit over what you think you need. Manually create breakout rooms, and then you can assign people, right? There's no one else here, so it's not going to list names, but when you press assign, it lists the names here. You just check box. You can then assign students to separate rooms. So if you want them to work in pairs for a few minutes on a certain activity, and then what you can do is hop in and out of each room as you go. So again, you've got some options down here. What it will do is you can have it here to set automatically. So maybe it's a 5-minute task. You can just adjust this here so it will automatically come back. You can set a countdown so that once you've closed the rooms at the end of the session or at the end of the activity, whatever it is, you can have either like a minute or 2 minutes or just 10 seconds to count down as people prepare to come back to that main room as well. So you can adjust those things there. And then if I press close over here, you also have this option for more. Now, what I have here, because this is something I've enabled in the main Zoom settings, is the option to go live on Facebook or live on YouTube. So what's great about using Zoom to teach your online language lessons is you can also use it to host live video, doing all of those cool things that we've just talked about, the whiteboard, the annotations on web pages, all of that stuff. You can do all of that and use it as a live YouTube lesson or a live Facebook lesson. So rather than just having to rely on the YouTube live feature directly where you can't have screen share, you can't have any of those things, same with Facebook, you can use all of that stuff here. You can screen share on Facebook, but that's like the limits of it. So yeah, that's good. If you enable those options, you'll be able to do that as well. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to walk you through all of these tools and show you bit by bit how you can use them. I definitely recommend using Zoom to teach online because it's just so flexible and so handy. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. There we go. I told you I'd be back. So I hope this has been helpful. I'd love to know though, do you use Zoom for your online language teaching? How does it work for you? What are your favorite tips and tricks? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, remember to subscribe for regular language learning videos. And remember to get your hands on that 3 months to online tutor checklist if you want to get started teaching languages online. I'll see you very soon. Thank you and goodbye.